Hello, everybody. This is Anthony Bionis from Mission Start Podcast, and from the depths of Mordor, we have Black Fright, or AKA Jeremy, from our site with us today.
I guess I would be the muddy troll coming out and just staring meanly.
Pretty much. And then we have one of our newest members to join the website as our new videos editor, Sen, or Lone Wolf Cosplay.
Howdy, nice to meet you.
And today we're having a bit more different, kind of off the video game topic, but since it is kind of related, we might as well went with it. So in today's podcast, we are going to do the usual what we went up to, but in the main discussion tonight, we're going to talking about kind of I cannot talk tonight. The Sword Art Online anime is nearing its end, and it kind of begs the question, or kind of puts the idea into our minds as far as like, what would we do if we were in their shoes, or if we were in a similar situation, kind of like if the zombie apocalypse happened, type of deal. So yeah, that's going to be our main topic for tonight. But first of all, guys, it's kind of been a while, so, well, new for you, Sam, but what have you guys been up to?
I had to go out shopping because I have made plans to stop by the Santa Monica Christmas Otaku Gathering next Saturday, the 22nd.
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing somebody on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't quite know what it is, to be honest. I know it's going down to Santa Monica Pier. It's starting 1 p.m. next Saturday. There is a gift exchange. They ask people if they want to, they can bring a gift with the receipt, I guess, to prove as to how much it is, because they apparently have different tiers. They want to make sure that if you bring something worth $20, I guess they want a little bit of equity. You don't want to walk away with something that's only worth $5.
Oh, right. I hear you. Like, you give them a $5 present, and in return you get like $100 present.
Wouldn't it feel like a jip if you were that one person who said, okay, I'm going to bring you an iPod Shuffle, and I walk away with, is this a gachapon thing? What the hell is this?
I hear you. That's awesome. Sweet. It's happening on December 22nd, you said?
Yeah, it's right next to the Santa Monica Pier. I should have more details than this. It's on my freaking events page. I'm trying to decide what the best way to take pictures out there would be, because I don't want to. I would like, maybe a little sign or something that says Mission Star Podcast. Of course, I don't want to just write out a bunch of words and have it appear as cheap as possible.
Right, I hear you. You can also just. Can I talk today? Man, my freaking mouth. But you could just go there, just kind of experience the atmosphere and the event that is.
Yeah, I'm taking my kids. I'm taking a couple friends. It's at 200 Santa Monica Pier, Suite A in Santa Monica, California. So it is literally right there off the pier.
Nice. That sounds awesome. Anything else you've been up to as of late?
Not really. I got to prep up for ALA because I got a few spots left. I got a phone call just before this podcast from a couple people interested in going.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a staffer there, so I'm trying to do everything evenly, and at the same time my wife works nights, so I have all 3 kids. So if I start pulling hairs out of my goatee at random in front of anybody, I apologize. But I'm just one of those people right now.
I hear ya. Wow. Well, good luck, and I hope you have lots of fun in Anime LA.
We'll try.
And our newcomer to the site, Sen, what have you been up to? Or kind of like, first of all, when you started signing up with us, like, did you have an idea as far as like what's going to happen to you, like, after the first couple of weeks?
Unfortunately, I'm just trying to find it to me, because most of the time I'm a senior. I'm still going to have to go to college to actually partake in a few courses for in modeling as well.
Ooh, nice.
Pretty much, I need to find something to keep me occupied from now until college life, because things at school is taking a little bit easy than last year.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
Wait, did you say you're doing modeling?
Yeah.
Wait,
so you're one of those handsome people that makes me feel like a troll? Oh my gosh.
Well, technically, I'm just gonna go with freelancing modeling.
Okay, that's cool though. I can respect that. So, what have you been up to as of late?
Right now, since it's freezingly cold this month, we're probably gonna be expecting snow sometime soon. Just don't know what day.
Oh, okay.
So pretty much my whole family's like prepping for the inevitable snow.
Wow. And you live in the East Coast, right?
Um, Dude, I'm in the West.
Oh, West. Wait, what? Where? Like, if you're experiencing snow, then where?
Up north.
Oh,
We're like much between Oregon and British
oh,
Columbia.
right. I totally forgot. You're up in near there. Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah, I know what you're at. Yeah.
Are you up there one of those people where those psychotic Twilight fans just wander through it?
Let me say that.
I realize we probably have a few otaku fans that are Twilight fans, and if so, I apologize. But at the same time, why, damn it, why?
No, seriously. But cool. Was there anything else you're up to, or kind of been your main thing?
Right now I'm right now prepping to actually start pot making. Actually, I have enough of fabrics these days.
Sweet.
Uh,
I hear you, man. First of all, I want to say welcome to the team. I already said that once before, but on this podcast, I think this is your first one, so popping your cherry on this one.
Ow.
But yeah, man, welcome to the team.
Thank you.
As far as for me, I just got back watching The Hobbit, which I will say that I should have seen it coming. Peter Jackson. I mean, well, first of all, let me say that the movie was good. I liked it. It was a lot more action oriented than it was in the previous Lord of the Rings movies. There wasn't a lot of walking, a lot of talking, but there's a lot more action. So I think they took note of it from the last series they did. And
Did they have any characters that had like a bizarre bromance like Frodo and Samwise?
it kind of did. It kind of had that bromance, kind of. I mean, you don't really. It's kind of like I think the easiest way to describe it in anime terms is like there is a bromance, but like the main hero, or well, yeah, the main hero is like very sunder, or like in those animes where like the girl's like very like mean to the guy, but like later on like warms up to him.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah, as funny as that sounds, and it actually, when I think about it, it does fit quite well. But yeah, like it was, I liked it, and it was cool. It was funny watching that movie. It was like kind of like, since it's a prequel, like some of the characters you remember from the previous movies were like just happened to show up there. It's like, oh hey, it's that character, and it was the other character. Oh yeah, I remember this one. Yeah, and not to mention like the movie is kind of has some great like funny moments. Like as action oriented as it was, it had some good comedic spots in between. So I like,
Cool.
yeah, I like that. I would suggest you guys watch it. Although I'm not quite sure if you need to watch a 3D version or not, just because like every time the camera would move, it has like this blur. So like it gets kind of I don't know, it gets kind of hard to see sometimes when you're watching the movie. I did a non-3D version.
Well, answer. You said that you saw Blur, but you were in the non-3D version.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you not do 3D because you wear glasses? I think I noticed that in your profile picture.
No, I would do 3D if I was like thinking maybe that might be the case, because like the movie I think initially was they touted like 48 frames per second, and it was like first of its kind.
Okay. Yeah, you're starting to bring up a memory I had of somebody complaining about that, because it is the first movie to have 48 frames per second.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody said that because of all the frames, when the characters move, it looks almost unnatural for some reason.
Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I was asking my friends if I should do it or not, and I decided not to. Just because like I feel that I think I think The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings on its own doesn't require 3D, to enhance it. I think it's a good movie on its own. So, I mean,
Okay.
I could be wrong, but we'll see. All I gotta say is, freaking Peter Jackson always giving you the cliffhanger at the very end. It's like, oh wow, I guess there's more. Anyways, but I mean, aside from that, I mean, I just been busy on the side, signing new people, and yeah. And if you're listening to this podcast, you should like our Facebook page so you can enter for the 300 contest we're doing. All the details are on the site. Okay, that's my quick plug. And yeah.
You want to explain the 300 contest real quick so that it doesn't sound like they have to dress up in a loincloth, show up and
sure.
Show up with spears or anything?
Sure, definitely. So we are running a promotional giveaway contest. Basically, you go on our Facebook and you like us. And our main goal is to get to 300 Facebook likes by the end of the month, or maybe more close to it. And then we have 5 THQ Humble Bundle codes that we got before the THQ bundle ended, I think, this past week. So we got 5 of those to give away. And all you got to do is just like and then just say you're entering, into the contest. And then we'll put into a random generator to see which one will win. And then whoever comes up the winner, we'll send it to that person. Note, you must have Steam and you must have a PC. Sorry, Mac and Linux users. So, yep. But yeah, definitely awesome. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm up to. But I'm enjoying these days of sleep and not worrying about finals.
Have a child or two. You will realize that sleep is one precious commodity.
Oh my God, I can only imagine.
I'm on my third. I'm not down to looking for sleep anymore. I'm more or less looking for the chair and the whip long enough.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna take a short break, and then afterwards, we're gonna go right into our main discussion and about Sword Art Online, and basically the main premise of what we do in a situation, or any situation that would be in there. Anyways, we'll be right back. Hello everyone, this is Anthony Be Honest from the Mission Start Podcast, and if you enjoy listening to this podcast, as well as our other ones on our website, you can now hear us on Stitcher. You can now hear our show as well on the go with Stitcher Smart Radio, on-demand news, talk, and more on your mobile phone. The latest episodes always available for you, no syncing needed, and no money or storage wasted. Available on your iPhone, iPad, Android phones, and beyond. Downloading is easy. Go to Stitcher.com or check out your app store. Stitcher, Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio. And we are back. Well, we got our food, we got our waters, and we're ready to talk about our main discussion. Now, normally on these podcasts, we usually talk about video games, but for this instance, we're actually talking about an anime, Sword Art Online, which is going on near its end. It's on the 24th episode right now, and it's nearing its end. And if you could give a quick synopsis of kind of what Sword Art Online is, for people who...
I know they kind of fool you with so many vowels.
I know, man. It's like they make you say so many syllables. I mean, it's at least it's not like the entire Japanese name for some animes where it's like you have to kind of really try as hard as you can not to insult the Japanese language.
Like Black Rock Shuta,
yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they insult ours all the time. It's okay.
That's true.
Well, the synopsis, at least of the first story arc, is one that kind of hits home for a lot of us as gamers. Someone has built a legendary, or at least a landmark, VR full immersion MMO, the first one of its kind, the first one to involve full dive VR technology. In other words, your brain is in the machine. The game has sold out of its first 10,000 copies, and for some reason that was all that was in the first printing. Well, as people get in there the first day, they go through a whole day of playing, they're excited. Then in the afternoon, they start discovering that there's no logout option. And then suddenly all 10,000 players are taken to the town square of the first level of the game and are basically given this cryptic message by someone purporting to be the creator of the game, who has said that the safety interlock is engaged. You die in the game, you die in real life. There is no way to log out. If someone removes your helmet, you will be your brain will be microwaved and instantly killed. And he also tells you the only way to get out is to go through all 100 levels of the game, beat the final boss, and the first person that does that will release all players.
Oh, awesome. So in a way, it's basically, in a way, like a real life
it's kind of a 360 World of Warcraft where your life is on the frickin' line.
Yeah. It's kind of so it's kind of like the Doll Hack anime kind of series in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to put it as a start, except that this game also has a few limitations. There's no magic whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
There's no ranged weaponry outside of, like, throwing daggers.
Mm.
All there is swordsmanship of different kinds. You know, polearms, axes, sword and shield, two-handed swords.
Okay, gotcha. That's cool. Okay. Okay, that's awesome. So, Jeremy, the idea you brought up for this podcast is that
yeah, it's in the simple terms, I would just call it in their shoes. What would you do in their shoes? How would you react in their shoes?
right. Okay. And specifically, like in situations, like, can you give an example? Like, if there was a situation you wanted to describe as far as like what would you do in their shoes? Any particular thing that you can point out, or maybe like in general, like if you were put into this world where it's like basically kind of World of Warcraft, but you gotta have to survive on your own wits, like how would you survive?
A perfect example, I guess, would be the first episode where they're given this huge message. Basically, the bells of doom toll. This large red cloak figure kind of leaks out of the sky, starts giving this weird message. It tells them about this new item is put in all their inventories. I'm a skeptic by nature. I always listen to what you're telling me, but I have to process it through my head and figure out if it's worth me doing. And for example, I guess 90 to 95% of the characters all check for the special item. I think I would be the person waiting to see what would happen, because I'd still have to convince myself that he was telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
All the information he's putting up could sound really true, and obviously the logout isn't working, but at the same time, is this really going to kill me?
Yeah. That's a good point, because like if you're standing there and you're just kind of like feeding this information to you, it's like, do I believe this, or do I think this is entire BS going on?
I would be staring at the sky, kind of freaked out, at the same time really asking myself, could he be telling the truth? And why, oh why, do I usually pick female avatars for games?
Well, I mean, it's kind of obvious for some male audience.
As my wife puts it, I don't want to stare at a male rear end the whole time.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Sen, you were gonna say something real quick, or hello?
What?
Were you gonna say something? Were you gonna say something real quick?
Nah. Just gonna tag along for the ride.
Well, how would you react given the opening events of the anime?
Well, to be honest, I would just check the item and pretty much plan ahead in the game, pick a location, start leveling up, and get the hell out of there. Pretty much, it's pretty much like once the truth is out, people start panicking. People are just gonna freak out, try to actually. Instead of working together, we'll probably fight each other. My goal is basically be on top of them every step of the way, meaning I want to be like ahead of them.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time they catch up, I'll basically just probably like party with the people that I probably trust the most.
Right, definitely. I definitely see what you're saying, because like it could become this whole kind of battle royale situation where like it's like fend for yourself, and if you like become close with somebody, it might kick you in the ass later on. So
yeah,
I definitely see what you're saying, and it's a good tactic to use. Definitely, especially if you're by yourself. It's like you're better off surviving on your own than surviving with others. Sometimes.
Yes.
It does almost bring up that battle royal type of situation where you're stuck in this life or death situation with people that have been your friends for years. But at the same time, when the chips are down and everybody's neck on the line, how will they react? I mean, some people's best friends could end up literally driving that knife through their spine.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Yeah. Not to mention, like, it's a free-for-all. There's no, let's do this together as a team.
Mm-hmm.
The people are going to start stealing stuff. Hence why Kirito, tried and asked one of his buddies to actually move along with him. But he decided to stay behind to help the others.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Is that?
Definitely. Now, as a person who has never watched the anime, which I plan to. I think it's funny how everybody has told me that the anime is great and I need to watch it, and I have like the first 5 episodes on my computer. Now, at time off, I can do that actually. But well, aside that, in a situation you described to me, as far as like how I would deal with that, first off, given the situation, depending on what the item is, like if the item is great and it's I look into it and it's actually very useful, then yeah, I would definitely be okay. But like, all right, what's going on? Like, I'll probably like friend like as many people as I could, just because as the person I am, like I'm a very friendly person. So I'll be like, making friends with everybody, be doing the opposite of like what I should be doing. And then like eventually, I'll hang around with one of them until, whatever happens towards the end. Because then at that point, it's like, well, you're my friend, buddy, but I don't know. I mean, I might have to.
Well, let's be upfront that this is probably going to be a spoiler-laden discussion.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we should tag this spoiler alert for those listening for Sword or online.
Maybe more like it.
Yes, but go on, Jeremy.
Well, I was going to say, when do you want to know what the item is? I know you haven't watched this yet.
Go ahead. I don't care. I'll watch it anyways.
The item he planted in all the inventories was a mirror.
Oh.
And everybody grabbed it, and as soon as they looked in it, their avatar was reshaped so that it looked like them in real life. So a lot of people may think that kind of destroys the situation, because a lot of people online, of course, they hide behind very elaborate avatars. They may even change the way they speak.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the anime, you see several people who are or actually lots of people in female clothes who are suddenly males in female clothes. But to me, that really kind of drove the whole concept home, in that you are no longer hiding behind anything. It is your life on the line from beginning to end.
Ah, I see. So it becomes this kind of it becomes this kind of it's funny. It sounds like the very thing that Blizzard is trying to do. Remember, like when they took away the was it at least in the forums? I think like they took away the ability to use your avatar name. If you use your real name, you're going to post something. And
I heard about that.
Yeah, it sounds an awful lot like that. It also sounds like it's kind of it just sounds so similar to today when people are trying to take away that force of not trying to hide behind your avatar in video games, because like you hear all the shit talk you hear on Call of Duty or Half-Life or Halo, just kind of those games online. But like they took away that shield and it's just them, like their name and their face. Then it's like then the game changes for them. So yeah, wow, that's awesome. It's interesting too. But that's cool, awesome. The item's a mirror, so okay, well then I wouldn't mind either way. No, so here's the thing, because like with games like MMOs, like sometimes when I do play them, I even especially in Mass Effect, like I do project myself into the game as much as I could and try to put the most detail I could put into what I look like, and that's just my preference.
Yeah, I guess it's that difference in play style. The only time I try and make my avatar look remotely like myself is generally when I'm playing World Wrestling Federation games. Being a wrestling fan, you always want to be that person in the middle of the ring, suddenly just delivering that ultimate drop kick that sends somebody through a table.
Right.
But when it comes to MMOs, I tend to play, female avatars, because I don't know why, they seem to get the more interesting costume options a lot of the time.
Of course. I mean, they're in scantily clad outfits. I mean, let's be real. Sen, like, do you when you play games, or have you played an MMO actually?
Just to hop around.
When you do play MMO every once in a while, do you project yourself into the game, or are you one of those people who like to make yourself to be as different as you can from your actual, real life counterpart?
Well, it depends on their concepts. Such as sometimes guys like to actually portray as female avatars for whatever reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Most in general, one of my best guesses is that sometimes if you make yourself a female avatar, act like you're a female,
Mm-hmm.
you actually proliferate money in the game. Like, if you're in a bad situation, you can actually, play dirty with other players. if you know what I mean.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, like if there's a benefit for being one gender versus the other. Okay. Yeah, I could definitely understand that from a statistical view.
Yeah, I've had money thrown at me like a cheap whore a few times.
Oh, that is you're bad.
It's true.
Okay, so what other situation would you say, like, if you were in the shoes of the characters in the anime, like what are situations we were thinking of as far as like if we were put into this this WoW situation that you could describe?
I've tried to rack my brain through this because there are so many different ways that this could be played. I mean, personally, I'm one of those people that likes to experiment with games. I have all out the rear end.
Right.
So I don't know what I'd be stuck with. I think, well, then again, the characters here could retrain with anything. I think I prefer a polearm like axe or something. I'd want the type of weapon that somebody would see and just question whether or not it's really worth trying to get in close.
Right. With these weapons that you... go ahead, sorry.
No, finish the thought, please.
Oh, okay, so I was going to ask, like, with these weapons that are in the anime, like you said that there's no projectile weapons at all. The different type of sword types, are there like very, very like a good wealth of different swords you can choose from or find, or is it kind of like a limited, whatever sword you can find is going to probably be the same one that toward the end of the game?
Oh, see, that's where this takes a turn, is because you can... no one avatar from what I saw was specifically stuck in any format. As long as you had the points to train in a different weapon type, you could pick that one up.
Ah, okay. Just by chance, do you remember any of them, or?
I remember seeing, I don't want to say lances. I saw polearms, so I saw spears, and I saw long-handled axes. I saw bastard swords. I saw sword and shield. I saw mace. And then, of course, you get the permutations in between of whether or not you can craft an adequate weapon in any one of these types, whether or not you can find the materials, whether you can train up, how proficient are you.
I see.
Then, of course, there's also, like in any other game, there's epic drops that you get from bosses or from specific monsters at specific times. So you have all these aspects where the guy who created the game literally made it so that somebody could survive being a very ethical and moral person, but at the same time, you could also survive very well being one hell of a dick.
Wow, interesting. What's up? So you say you will go with the polearm, right?
That would probably be my choice.
Sen, what about you? What type of sword would you like if you were thrust into this world?
Well, I want to go with sword type. I actually noticed the avatars and it has a dagger. I go for assassin type.
Oh, okay.
Hit and run.
Hit and run. That's cool.
So you would be a laughing coffin person.
Hey, like I say, Carol, I mean, that's what I learned the first few episodes. I mean, he's hella fast. He has 2 swords. And, dude, he could actually kick my ass if I was supposed to duel him with daggers, man. I mean, seriously. It's all about speed.
But, spoiler again, so certain people may want to cover their ears. That two-handed was a very unique ability that was just given to him.
Yep.
Interesting. It sounds like it just some detailed sounds and details. So it sounds like you want to become like the Altair of this anime. Just like sneak up behind him, but like zip, and then sneak away. That would be cool. I like that. That'd be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
I try to become more like the Juggernaut of this particular game.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. No.
Knock.
As for me, like I think if I were to get like a sword or something similar to pick up and train with, I'd probably be like anything resembling to like Wolverine's claws, and like that, like in the sense of like either it could be done. I can actually have claws, or I can have like the weapons that the what's her name? It was in Diablo 2. The assassin girl. She has like she has like daggers on both hands that she can like she wields. Not daggers / kind of like gauntlets type of deal. I can't.
You mean like katars?
Yeah, that. So if I had the power or the ability to train, I would like probably.
So you'd want Voldo.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, I'd be it's partly because whoever has claws, I usually pick up as far as like a character either in fighting games or also just because like I like Wolverine. Um, but like yeah, I'll just like have that, and it's just because the reason why I would go that route is because it's much easier, at least in my opinion, if I trained with something that's already on my arms rather than kind of you wielding a sword that eventually you could lose in a battle. Like, if it's like a one-handed or two-handed sword, like eventually, like if it's knocked out of your hands, you have to go run, get it back, or, pick it up somehow. And then with the, guitar, you're already on your hand. So like the only way it's going to be coming off is you cut off the arm. So, yeah.
Well, let me interject a question into this.
Okay.
And I'll start with you, Anthony, since you answer last a lot.
Okay.
in this situation, you're in this game where you're in a life and death situation, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
You have heard word of a boss on a floor that has wiped out whole parties. So someone is trying to form a raid party. Mm-hmm. Are you the type of person that would seek out a guild? Would you seek out an army to join? Would you join as an independent? Would you try to form up your own group to try and take it on? How would you handle that?
Personally,
keep in mind, if you screw up, you're dead.
Yeah, basically, I can't Leroy Jenkins this, can I?
Probably wouldn't be advised.
Yeah. Personally, knowing myself, I would probably go and sign up for a guild or for an army that would go for a raid. Just so that hey, if I so happen to survive a like raid and I know that the chances are slim, then I can escape with my life. If I went alone or independent, I wouldn't survive as much. but given if I was like very fit and I was very fast and what I wanted to, I could be a very good asset on the team. But yeah, personally, I
Did she just throw a fireball? What the hell happened?
I know, I just heard a Sharugan.
Oh, that's my sister. I live with my parents, and yeah, we're all under one roof.
Okay, I thought for a second she went like Super Saiyan or something.
Yeah, that was she overheard the podcast. It's like, what's going on?
No, they're like having a fight with my brother.
So she just turned to the boss. But yeah, like for me, I'll just pick up an army or a guild and then tag along with them. So that's kind of what I would personally do. Sin, what about you?
Me? Well, to face the boss, I would probably go with not a guild, just want some regularly tag mercenary, just to go in, kill the monster, and move on.
That's cool. Like as far as like, what type of person would you be though? Like, would you like be the guy that would like support your other fellow men, or would you like be the guy like would stay back and like wait until they do the harder work and then come in for the kill and then like leave?
Well, no, man. I don't know if this is where the action is at, but also I'd rather actually have an action with a good plan. A strategist.
Gotcha.
Is important.
Yes, it is very, very important to have the brains behind the bronze.
Yeah.
It's a very good point. Jeremy, what about you?
Man, I approach MMOs kind of conservatively. I'd like to make sure I'm a couple levels above the recommendations before I hit in. But I would probably have to go with a group of ragtags, either one I could find or one I could put together, because it occurs to me that if you're an independent that joins up with the guild that's trying to do this, for all you know, you could end up either the cannon fodder or you could end up extraneous and somebody stabs you in the back while they're working on the boss. Especially if they got a bunch of people there to back them up.
Right.
And but it's hard to say, because that would be the type of situation where you would have to vet who you're hanging out with really carefully.
Yeah, because this is your life on the line, so you have to kind of focus on what's best for you to survive in this world. Yeah, I definitely see that. Interesting. Now here's the thing that I want to throw this out to you because, or to both of you, because if I had watched the anime, I would have had some say into it. But okay, out of the girls in Sword Art Online, who would you want to be with the most? Jeremy, you go first.
My wife.
It doesn't count.
I got to give that answer at least once. Otherwise, I'm either going to get stared at, or I'm just going to get hit over the head with whatever object I have. Heavy man statues and everything, and I would like to live. But that's an interesting question. Given the characters I've seen, see, I have a vicious white knight complex.
Ah, I see.
When people are in trouble, I have to at least make the attempt.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of characters in this anime so far that would set that off to degrees that would probably disturb even me.
I see.
But I mean, I would probably have to say Asuna in the end, because that's a character that can at least stand on her own.
Okay. She's actually pretty useful in this anime.
Yeah, it's one of those characters that starts out small and definitely grows as time goes by. It's not one that you follow heavily in the beginning. She just kind of reappears later, more capable.
Ah, okay.
But at the same time, as much as I don't mind helping people, if I'm going to be in this situation, I'd like to know the person that's guarding my 6 can actually handle business.
Oh, right. I hear you. I gotcha. That's cool. I can respect that. Sen, what about you?
Me? Well, technically it's a game with the function. I'm still a bit iffy about that, but I would say Asuna, because I gotta say, she knows what she's doing until the next arc.
Awesome. Any particular reason why, or anything about it that you like specifically?
Well, technically, if me and Asuna are pit in a dungeon fight with just only me and her and a boss, which is probably beyond our current level of capacity, assuming if I fall down first, I have a feeling that she might handle well on her own.
Okay.
I mean, like they're saying, like, if one falls in combat, helping out, but in this case, if one falls in combat and you only have like one life, you cannot respawn. Once you're dead, you're just dead. You just gotta actually take and finish the job.
Okay. I can respect.
And I'm sure there's a few people listening just saying, you guys are overthinking this. Well, think about it this way. Have you ever been on a Warcraft game or a City of Heroes game or a Terra? Anybody has taken that boss in the first shot?
Yeah.
Usually try it 2 or 3 times to get it right.
It is a shot in the balls. I think the best way to describe this is it's like comparing for anybody who's played the game, comparing your time playing Dark Souls and trying to beat the first boss in that game, because my god, that game is a straight up kick in the balls every turn you go to. And I'm not kidding. That game is hard. I don't play it.
It doesn't sound like it has much replay value if every time is a kick in the nuts.
It's a good game, but it's just you gotta take a lot of punishment before you get the reward type of deal.
Sounds like dating a Kardashian.
Oh boy.
Damn.
But
okay. Just out of curiosity, like I'm kind of a sucker for girls who are shy and that type of deal. Is there like any?
Oh, you were gonna hate the arc with Sachi then.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You're probably gonna throw your laptop.
I see. What happened? Just I don't care. Like, does she like?
Basically, early on in the series, I think episode 3 or 4, Kirito comes across this group of players who are all from the same AV club, and I think they're like young people in high school. And the girl Sachi is so meek and quiet. She's trying to change jobs in the middle of this group, and he agrees to join the guild because he wants to watch out for them. He hides the fact that he's about 20 levels above them to stay with them.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the group gets a little overzealous during an average dungeon crawl, goes into a room and activates a trap that closes the door behind him and fills the room with high-level monsters.
Oh, that's...
Yeah.
This guild that he just joined, I guess, probably a couple months ago, get annihilated.
Damn.
And then on Christmas, he gets an automatic message from the girl, postmortem. She sent him a crystal stating that she was up one night and saw him messing with his menu. She knew he was high level, didn't care, figured he had his secrets, but her big message was she was pretty sure she was going to die at some point, so she wanted him to live.
I see.
Just go on, take care of yourself, and live. And then the most heart-wrenching part of all is that she can't figure out what to put at the end of the message with extra time, so she hums the tune of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
Pretty much that's where like the meme come from right after she dies.
Wow.
Yeah, you want to talk about a kick in the nuts? It really excelled at that moment.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like I was like here to George. I mean, like when I watched it all from the first episode, all the part where she died, I was like, huh, this is gonna probably get interesting. The character might actually make some new friends. And all of a sudden, they all die. I'm like, holy crap, what happens next? And apparently, the leader, basically, spoiler alert, commits suicide. Okay, the whole guild is gone. Now what? That's just basically multiple slap to the face for Kirito. I mean, seriously, nothing goes right with him.
Yeah, and the general age of these characters all seem to, of course, be in the late teens when stuff like this is. It's when gaming is kind of at the peak of its interest in a person's life and as far as its importance. So I'm sure this was just one of those moments where there's no way to respond to that.
Yep.
There is no way to respond to that. Not only because they're not dead, but I mean, your whole world was just turned inside out in the matter of probably about 2 hours.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Wow.
I mean, the amount of effort that people put through in Sword Art Online is probably longer than the amount of people trying to level up in Halo 4. There's that comparison. What?
Are you making fun of me?
Hey, dude. I play Halo 4 as well, dude. I'm still, a warrant officer.
I just got into Spartanoffs.
Oh, awesome. I just got Spartanoffs too.
Dude, Spartanoff is probably the best place where to get good level EXP. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
It took me 2 weeks.
I hear you. But that is now a discussion for another day.
Yeah.
As much as it fits.
What would you do in their shoes? I'd use a goddamn shotgun.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I mean, let me ask you this. I mean, in this Sword Art Online situation, there is, like any other game, there is player versus player. Would you guys actually be that individual who would be willing to put down somebody else? And keep in mind, I'm not asking if you would have the cojones to actually... Actually, no, I am. In this situation, even defending yourself, that last thrust could be what ends someone's life.
Like, you mean when you're being attacked by other players in an unfair match?
Yeah.
Or
in other words, you're not initiating player killing. Say you're a jump by laughing coffin. You have the upper hand. Can you actually put that sword through the man's eye?
I would have to say I would, if it happens to me, that I will actually do in self-defense. I mean, right now it's life or death. And those guys are just being, like, either idiots or they just want to just, like, be ignorant son of a bitch. Or language there, but yeah.
Right. For me,
it's a hard question.
Yeah, because like here's the thing. Like, I think I wouldn't kill the guy. I think I would just like disable him. Take whatever his weapon was, or like cut off his hand, or like hit his leg so he won't fight anymore. I wouldn't kill the guy. I'm too much of a I'll be too much of a good guy to really do that. And
so you would be that guy that cuts off his legs, cuts off an arm, tosses a heal crystal far away, rolls him over like he's some kind of South Central, steal his stuff, and say, once you get to that, you be all right.
I mean, I may do something else, but like in the similar way, to just to disable the guy so like he can't fight. I don't want to kill him, but like I'm just too much of a good guy at heart to really kill a guy. In my if I were in that situation. So yeah. What about you, Jeremy? Would you be that comb stone killer and just hit him right between the eyes?
If I was attacked, I have the anger issues. I would say I probably would go through with it.
Wow.
It's not that I respect it. It's not that I feel it's absolutely necessary. But if somebody is that psychotic and that bent that they would be willing to kill me over some item or for fun, then they gotta go.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, those people don't deserve. I mean, seriously. There's so many things that they could have done, but they decided to do just that.
Well,
just a shame.
I can't say what the reason would be because just like the three of us are sitting here talking about, there's a group of people that may not be able to put that connection together, that when they do this, they're killing a human being. They may see it as part of the game.
Right.
But
that's a good point.
In my situation, it's not part of the game. If I'm going to die as soon as you strike me down, so I got to go first.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Strike the hardest. Make them bleed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the knowledge of if it's life or death, because if the person believes like, oh, this is a game, like, yeah, he may do it just because it's a game and he's trained to.
Yeah.
We're all trained to actually do that over the years of playing video games of killing people.
Yeah, but those interesting videos on YouTube of rage quits and people getting upset because their assassin was just knocked out by somebody who happened to run across behind him. That doesn't happen here. You're done. You're done.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So it's that knowledge of knowing if you are going to survive or not, and I think that plays a big role as far as like, what would you do in a situation. So it separates the boys from the men, if it were a worm.
Yeah.
So now there are very like all fantasy animes that are out there. There are very interesting outfits that they wear. Just out of curiosity, like, as far as like compared to the female armor, like how much does the men like wear as far as like armor wise in this anime?
That's where this one is really well designed, because it varies between almost no armor, something similar to a breastplate and a shirt, all the way up to what the main character wears, which is kind of like a large leather coat, and it looks like he's head to toe in dark clothes. And there's others that they look like knights of old in head to toe armor.
Oh wow, interesting. And that's a good thing though too, because like honestly, like we've seen so many animes and so many MMOs where the girl is like wearing nothing but a two-piece, and that's considered armor.
I never complain.
I know, I don't complain either, but I'm just saying, hey, if it was a real situation, that kind of be not a great armor thing to protect yourself with.
Actually, that brings up another interesting question. Sen,
Yo. What's up?
how would you deck out your character?
To be honestly, I would basically wear something light.
Yeah.
Probably some leather, easy to get go. Since I mostly want to like actually go with faster pace stats.
Okay. I see. Okay, I can respect that. So you'd be like wearing like very light armor, leather, maybe something, maybe the weapons you choose to are also light.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like sometimes players will actually go with looks, but me, I'm going all about the stats.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
That is the one thing that might save your life in Sword Art. Trust me.
I hear you. Jeremy, what about you?
I guess I would be I'd be similar in that I would prefer lighter clothes, leather type clothes, but I would want to reinforce it, because if I'm picking up whole arm, obviously my role is point. So if I got to go that way, I prefer not just to survive, but to be light enough to to move on my feet, get in, get out. And I would probably emphasize speed, agility, and strength and endurance overall, because I would need to be able to take my licks and keep rolling.
Right. I hear you. As for me, I would be the type of guy, because when I roll a character in MMO, I kind of like to be a fast guy, but also like to be kind of like the guy who has just enough armor to protect himself, but just enough to so I can move around in. So I'll be kind of in between there. I wouldn't go for an armor that would I'd love to increase my speed, but like I don't want to be like getting hit once and then boom, I'm dead, type of deal.
Yeah, keep talking for a sec. I got to do something.
Okay, but yeah, like I would definitely go for that type of style. I've always been like, don't get me wrong, I like doing the past characters, but it's just the type of thing I would go for in the middle ground. But yeah, I mean that's kind of the person I would do. Sen, since you it's as far like as much as we're talking about as anime and it's like putting ourselves in situations, like overall, like as far as like the anime itself, what did you think of it so far, or as it's nearing its end?
I gotta say, unlike other animes I've seen so far, they're on a good start. They're just so they don't mess with the fillers. Naruto reference. God, I guess.
Wait. Are there fillers in this anime?
I don't think so. I hope not.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
it's a good start to end. It's a good start to end the Owl arc. But I mean, if they decided to Like, why not just basically do some fillers for the next arc? Oh, that's gonna be so bad.
Right. Are they?
It's a good anime. Yeah, it's a good. It started as a manga, and it then moved itself. Huh?
I thought it started as a light novel.
Well, I read light novels, mangas. They're the same to me. Sorry about that. But yeah, light novels. Yeah. So it started as a good light novel, and then it got made into a good anime, and then it moved on to a good arc. Let's just hope they keep it that way.
Interesting. Because I
mean, yeah.
Yeah, because Jeremy, we're talking about like looking at the anime overall and kind of seeing, how well you think it is after watching the entire series or almost near the entire series. You're saying there is another arc coming.
Well, as far as where the anime seems to be ending, and like I said, I've heard that it's going to stop at 25 for now. There are at least 2 other arcs in the light novels, manga, whatever you call them, that have not been touched by this anime yet. So there's room if the money is good enough for them to do more.
Right.
The question that I posed earlier is that whether or not it's worthwhile, because once you remove the lethal component from the first arc of the series, where does it actually retain its freshness, or does it just kind of turn into the next anime?
Right, I hear you. Usually when it comes to animes that they go on for like 25, 26 episodes, usually they do like the first entire season and then wait until how well it does, and if it does well enough, then they'll do like the other arcs that they could go back to. Because they don't want to run to the whole Trigun type of deal where like you made so many episodes that caught up with the manga that you could not make any more source materials unless any more episodes on the source materials that you caught up to it unless you do fillers, which we've seen in the past with some animes that has not done well, aka Naruto.
Well, I guess at that point, I would be the person that would hope that the anime deviates seriously from the manga, because there's potential in this just because the first series started with only 10,000 players.
Mm-hmm.
The second arc is pretty much an actual functioning MMO with magic and everything.
Mm-hmm.
There are tons of stories that could be told out there.
Right. It's okay. I can see that. It's just I feel that people today who watch anime would like to see the anime for what it is and not be shelled out fillers for until the next arc happens or until the next real anime episodes quote unquote happen. But more than anything, if I were to guess, like after this season's over, we'll probably be won't be for a little while before we hear announcement, or in some cases like the announcement for a second season is usually at the end of the last week or two of when the episodes comes out. So
I guess that's where the question becomes: does a good story on paper translate into a good paper on film? I mean, we saw for years that they couldn't get it quite right as far as comic book films until they took a serious deviation from the source material.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I have to agree, because like as much as a comic book or as a book can give you, you have to sometimes go outside of that to not only go from the source material, but also make something of your own that you would show off to other people. Because if you made a movie based on comic books by source, it would be by page, it would be the worst comic book movie ever.
Yeah.
It does bring up an interesting thought though. Sen, what about you? What do you think about it as far as like kind of having source material that from books and comic books, or even manga, translated into a movie or an anime and whatnot?
Well, my subject matter my opinion on that matter is kind of iffy at the moment. But I mean, as long as it isn't disappointing when I see it, it's all good.
Right. Okay.
Maybe it's just the old guy in me, because I've been collecting this nonsense since like 87.
No. It's cool. Like, it's understandable.
No, I'm just saying, I'm one of those people that if I'm going to follow a series, if I actually enjoy the series, I really enjoy it when the manga tells a different story from the anime.
Right. Okay.
I don't want to spend twice the money on the 2 copies of the same product.
Right. I see what you're saying. And in some cases it works, but in some cases it doesn't. And in cases that it does work, I'll give you an example. Fullmetal Alchemist, like the first season, or kind of like the first run through when they're going through it. They did the source material in the very beginning, but they deviate it completely off to their own storyline, which became, I think in my opinion, like a very good story arcs and very good story to put into the anime without going to the books. And now they went back with Brotherhood and went to the books, and that was a whole different type of deal.
Yeah.
So I could definitely understand what you're getting at.
Boy, we have deviated pretty far from the.
It'll come circle, man.
Well, let me put out the difficult question, one that I've tried to puzzle over myself.
Okay.
Anthony, we'll start with you. You're in Sword Art Online.
Okay.
Do you think that, and be 100% honest, do you think that you would take the role of the hero? Do you think you would adventure from beginning to end? Do you think you would settle down and create kind of a life and hope someone else did it? Do you think you would make it?
Do you think I will have the balls to make it in this world?
I'm not asking if you have the balls.
I know. I just threw it in there.
That just sounds so cruel. You have stones, brother. I'm asking, do you think you would be the hero? Do you think you would survive, or do you think you would open up a shop?
Honestly, let me think. If it was by myself, I think that I would go on an adventure, a few times and see how that would go. And if I do well, then I'll be more of a support person. Like, I wouldn't be the person out in front on the front lines or be the hero unless I have to. Now, if I had, like, say, a girlfriend that I want to protect or somebody I loved, then yes, I'm all hero gun ho. Or different circumstances may happen. But no, you know what? I'll probably be the one that if all things considered, be the guy in the what's it called, in the market, or has his own store, and like I'll just like be making weapons for people to buy from and chilling at home.
So you would basically be questing to keep up with the level average, but at the same time you'd be a supplier.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll be chilling. I'd be like, you want an axe? Give me 500 gold, then we'll talk.
Look, man, I can make you a knife. I can make you a sword. But if you want me to take on that goat-headed thing, screw you.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Sen, what about you?
Me. Technically, I'm probably not gonna settle down. Just gonna like hunt monsters, get rare loot, sell rare loot, earn money, and so forth. The usual merc stuff.
Awesome.
Do you think you would make it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot better than actually sitting down opening shops. It looks like every single day you just gotta, like, what's her name? That blacksmith girl.
Lisbeth.
Elizabeth, yes, Elizabeth. Yeah, it's a lot better the way they got us how many days for customers to show up. It's like you kill monster, you get your loot on the get-go. It's pretty much, I mean, like, seriously.
Gotcha. Okay, that's cool. Jeremy, what about you?
Man, I honestly think I would be an adventurer. I don't know if I'd be a frontliner, just like you guys have said, because there's something about being a soldier in someone else's army that could just get you killed, and there's something about hanging out with a bunch of people I don't know that just doesn't seem intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think I'd be out there gathering my supplies, hoarding it away, trying to help who I could along the way, but not exactly putting my name out on the board, hero for hire.
Right.
I think I would do a good job of holding my own, although, like I've said, I have a vicious white knight complex, and I must admit it might cost me.
I see.
I don't know if I would make it to the end, because there is that part of me that is just loud enough that when people are in trouble, I have to try to respond.
Right. Definitely. I hear you. That's cool. If I could somehow hack this game or this world, and like if I could be like the architect of this game,
you want admin access?
Yes, I want that admin access. If I could, I would definitely like hack it to where like I'll be a merchant, but like I'll be in a Deadpool cosplay the entire time, and I'll be like giving people with supplies, but like, walking around the city, in my costume, but like chilling. And then people like looking at me weird, but like, yeah, that's
I'm
right.
so glad you explained this because I was afraid you were going to say something like, as soon as females walk through my door, they have no clothes on. I can't explain. I don't know what happened. There must be a bug somewhere.
That's a good idea too. I didn't think of that. Now you're naked whenever you come in. And then an old guy walks in, like, no. Oh, awesome. Sweetness. Awesome. Was there anything else you want to put out there as far as like any situations or
Well, let's ask I think we've answered most of the major behavioral ones. Let's ask the final question.
Okay.
The second arc of this, I think somewhere around episode 14, 15, they get to another game called Alfhelm Online where the doors are open. There's all kinds of players. There's magic used in the game now.
And not to mention, you don't die. Once you die, you can respawn, I think.
Oh,
yeah. There's a penalty, but, nobody's permanently killed anymore.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's now a game instead of you're nuts.
Nice.
Yeah.
If the doors were open and you could have a character that could either be the swordsmith, be the ranger, be the assassin, be the mage, be the healer, what would you be?
Sin, I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
Me, I'd rather go with a spear gun. Oh god, I love trolling people. Oh man, their magic skills.
I thought you said a spear gun. I didn't know that was in the game.
What?
Okay. As for me, I would go with the character that I would D&D that I usually D&D with, and that is a mage or aka wizard, and I'll be the guy that be doing spells and whatnot, and yeah, that'd be pretty much me. So, how about you, Jeremy?
I for some reason, and I don't have a good explanation why, I am drawn to archers.
Really?
Really?
So, yeah, I don't know why. Every time I get involved in an MMO that has the option, that is the first character I pick, and I don't have any sort of explanation. So I'm very confident that if I was in that type of game, there would be probably some incredibly leggy and busty character running around with a bow and arrow, just plinking stuff off at a distance, hanging out with my best friend who usually is redheaded, blue-eyed, and carries a large sword.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I'm sure I would get gold thrown at me again for no reason. I have to go, I'm a dude, back up.
Nicely put. It reminds me, and talking about this reminds me of D&D, and I miss that game. I need to go back and play some more.
I still play.
Oh, you do? Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I do. I have a group of friends in Northern California. We get together at least once a year, and I have blown their minds because I have crossed the D&D manual, the modern D20 manual, and the Oriental Adventures manual to create a new adventure, and it's driving them insane.
Wait, are you a DM?
I'm a player and a DM.
Oh shit! So both. Okay.
Well, I mean, not in the same game.
Oh, no, right. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
No, I've created a situation where their characters are weapons proficient. They're being hired security experts for a company that, of course, just like most stories, has that seedy underbelly, except this one has knowledge of modern magics.
Oh, okay.
And they're kind of stuck in a pretty bad war with their rival that comes down to interesting gunplay. And so far they've had to shoot their way out of the lobby of the Bonaventure Hotel in downtown. They've had to try to destroy an art gallery. They've had to break their way into a car dealership. They've gotten nuts at a convention at the Anaheim Convention Center. So I draw on a lot of my real life experiences.
Nice. Oh, that sounds like a blast. Awesome.
Oh, one player nearly drove me insane because every time he would knock someone out, he would do a quick check in the middle of the fight, and you'd always find a shotgun with 2 rounds on it.
What game is this?
You have a shotgun with 2 rounds. Don't even bother rolling anything.
Oh, that sounds so sweet. Awesome.
Wait, what game is this? I did not follow at all. Sorry.
It's a book-based role-playing game that I came up with by crossing together the modern D20, D&D, and Oriental Adventures manuals.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
More complicated, but I said it out loud.
Right. No, that's cool. That's cool. Well, thank you, Jeremy, for providing tonight's topic as well as joining me on this podcast.
No problem. If we can get together a couple more people and make a full panel out of this, the next time I would like to discuss the situation of psychopaths.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, I'll be down for that.
Yeah, I'll be down with that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Sen, for also joining us for this podcast.
No problem.
So Jeremy, where can they find you on the internet?
I am on cosplay.com as Freight. I am currently gearing up for, as we said, the Santa Monica Otaku Gathering, Anime Los Angeles. Then I have to make an appearance at WonderCon. I'm going to be at Fanime, going to be at Anime Expo, going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, going to be at Japan Expo, and I'm trying to figure out if I'm ever going to be at home.
I know that feeling too. Shit, look at that next year's conventions list. Oh my god. I hear ya.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm. But cool, awesome. Sin, where can they find you on the internet?
Mostly cosplay.com. I go by the alias of Lee Sharon. I'm gonna probably have an avatar of my Secret Service cosplay. I could also be found on Facebook, as well as I gotta say World Cosplay and Cure Cos. Mostly I spend my time over there a lot.
Right. I hear ya. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Sweet.
True.
Oh, and excuse me as I burp into the mic. You can find me on Twitter at Defective Naruto. You can follow this podcast as well as all three of us. You can follow all of our work, including me, Jeremy and Sin, on missionstartpodcast.com. There you can find our Facebook and our Twitter and everything, reviews and whatnot. Everything is there. And one last thing, be sure enter the quest for 300 free codes, yada yada, go.
Free Steam games, people, come on.
Free Steam codes, yeah. So anyways, that's gonna do it for us for this week, and we will see you all next week. See ya.
Peace.